So now for the last step. We're going to combine the stroke component and the symbol component into a single compound component that will become the new line style. So we need to generate a new compound component. So edit, create, and compound. The new compound component pops into place. We need to change the name to boyline. You'll notice that I've copied and pasted that name. And we need to save that. So enter, which updates the boyline compound name. And having done that, notice that we have a different set of information and settings in this box for the compound. And it's in this box that we're going to assemble the two parts of this compound line. So we need to insert our two components. So we insert. We need to select the point boyline component first. So we need to drag down to find the points. There's points. Here's our point boyline component. We select that and say OK. We see our combined stroke and symbol again. And now we need to add the stroke component to our subcomponents box. So insert again. And now we need the stroke boyline. Stroke boyline. There it is. Select and OK. Everything's as it should be. Our symbols are in the correct places. This center one looks a little odd, but that's actually the vertex location of the line when placed in the view. Now we need to link the compound component to the boyline name. So the style's name must be linked to that compound component. Now it's very important that you have the boyline name and the boyline compound component both highlighted, because they must be linked together by name. Now when you're sure they're both highlighted, click on Edit and Link. Notice the double arrow which is popped into place, meaning that this compound component is now linked to this particular name. And of course we save, and we're done. And now at last you can use the new style in your design. I am going to move my editor off the screen. Going to go to Element and Line Styles and Custom, and I should see my boyline. You may have to search for it, but it will be there. My boyline is selected. Click on the scale factor box. Scale will be 1 in this case. Shift is none, but I like to use centered for my shift. That guarantees that the line will start and end at a specific location. And I start a line tool, and I draw my boyline. Let's zoom out a little bit here. Move that out of the way a little bit. And here's my boyline. And if we zoom in, we see that we have a symbol at the end, in this case, at every second dash, and at a vertex as we break the line, and back to the starting point with a symbol at the start of the line. So obviously very effective, although quite a bit of work to get to this point. But with a bit of practice, you can create line styles really quite easily. And don't forget that you're not limited to a single line. As I mentioned, you can offset more and more lines to create multi-line custom lines. Now, if you don't see this line in your drawing, you will have to go back and retrace your steps and make sure that you've followed every input and selection as required. And to round things off, in the next video, I'll add some additional information which will help in terms of generating more complex custom lines.